Hi, this is Mike Stern, and you're watching the Guitar Mania channel.
It's so good to see you back on the Austrian stage.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us and to do an interview.
Absolutely.
We just saw the sound check. It seems like you have a really good atmosphere in the band.
Oh, it's really fun. I mean, this is a really special project. I've been doing a couple of these things lately with different people that I really dig, you know, and of course Bill Evans is. We go back to Miles' days when Miles came back out of retirement. He had his first band, included Bill, and Bill actually got me on the gig. So I did that for about 3 years. And Marcus Miller was the bass player, and Al Foster was the drummer, and Mino Sunulu was the percussionist, and then. And of course Miles, of course, and we did that for a while, and then John Scofield joined the band also, and we played together with that same group plus John, and so that was really a treat.
You have a relentless, fierce touring schedule at the moment.
It's a pretty hard touring schedule, but it's really fun.
Mike, let us go back a bit in your history. I mean, we're a fanzine for musicians, and you played with so many memorable artists and legends. What, for instance, what is the most memorable experience that you had while playing with Miles Davis?
With Miles, there's a lot of memorable experiences, and a lot of experiences that I'm told were memorable that I don't remember. Some of those years were hard to remember, if you know what I mean. But it was just a treat overall to play with him, just to hear him play. And sometimes the thing, like for instance, the thing that struck me was how little specifics he got into when he rehearsed. Especially with that band, he wanted to keep it really open. With the first band, the second time I played with him, I played with Jaco. I took a break and played with Jaco and played with Dave Sanborn, and then I came back and then I had some personal stuff I had to clean up. You know, it was kind of really crazy in those years, and then Miles asked me back, so I played with him. Then it was 2 keyboards and it was a little bit more arranged. But the first band, which was I dug both of them a lot, really. Both of them were different and amazing. But just that the first band was really kind of special for me. And it was very open. He just would start a vamp and we'd go for it, kind of, you know, and then go and kind of connect into the other tunes. We kind of almost, it grew as we were playing live. So sometimes it wasn't tight like an audience would expect and a little bit more arranged, but it kind of got into that. And then sometimes when it got into that a little bit too much, Miles would change it up. You know, it was almost like he wanted that band to really be on edge all the time. And the second band was more arranged. He wanted more. There were 2 keyboards. And at first it was just guitar. I was playing the chords and sometimes piano. Sometimes Bill would play piano. He's an excellent piano player, Bill Evans.
How was playing with Billy Cobham?
That was great. Playing with Billy Cobham was beautiful too. I mean, he's an incredible drummer, and it was really fun. He's a bad cat.
And I mean, what were the things? I mean, for instance, let's stay with Billy Cobham. Is there something that you learned for you as a musician?
Oh, lots from those guys. I mean, just seeing them play, it's almost you can't really be specific about it. It's hard to be specific because you learn so much. It's just kind of you absorb, and it's a kind of an abstract learning process. And just by listening, and like the way you learn a language, or learn the way somebody, if you hang with somebody, you learn their personality, kind of, and some of it you absorb and take some stuff and learn from it, you know. And so, and with those guys, musical personalities were very strong, very advanced, and so when they'd play, you'd hear how they come up and kind of approach music and learn a lot from it. Billy was just fun to play with too. He's very, I loved playing long solos with him, and he would develop them with me. He was great at that. He used to kind of add on certain things. Dave's got that same kind of, Dave Weckl and Dennis Chambers, who I play with a lot, have that same kind of sensibility. But Billy is really special like that. He can really play behind a soloist in a very supportive way. And plus he's got all the technique in the world. He's got tons of chops, but he doesn't overuse them, I don't think. I always thought he uses them for excitement and during his drum solos, but when he was playing behind a soloist, it was always, he's really keying in on where they're coming from, their dynamics. If they go up, in energy, he's there with them. If they come down, he's brushes sometimes, you know, that kind of thing.
How can young players improve their rhythm?
The rhythm is, that's a good question. I would, the way I did it was, and sometimes the way I teach students is just to practice everything in time. Like even with or without a metronome, and both are important, sometimes without a metronome, just have your own time. But even if you're playing scales or some new concept you're working on, try to practice it, you know, slowly so you can absorb it in a real way. But as soon as you are able to, because sometimes when it's a new scale you're not able to play it in time, or some new idea or something. But as soon as you can, try to play it in time. And then I used to just be aware of time all the time. So I'd listen to great time players. And like Wes Montgomery, of course, for guitar, Wes Montgomery or Jim Hall or George Benson, an amazing time player, and tons more. You know, just be aware of it. But mainly, actually, for my own kind of practice stuff and whatever I come up with, usually I try to get ideas from different instruments. And play that on the guitar, like more horn lines. So I'm always listening to Sonny Rollins or John Coltrane or that kind of stuff. I'm trying to play some of that stuff on the guitar. Can't play all of it because it's just a different instrument, but you come up with different stuff like that. Or piano players like McCoy Tyner or Herbie Hancock. I have a lot of transcriptions. I transcribe them and then try to play what I can on the guitar.
So you still do that?
Yeah, I'm always practicing.
Wow.
I don't feel like I know shit after all these years. I mean, it's really like, I feel like music keeps you really humble. I mean, there's so much to learn, and the more you know, the less you know, because the universe grows. You know, you see more possibilities. So it's just an endless kind of a beautiful journey. You know, sometimes it can get overwhelming unless you have a certain kind of practice routine and you know, and try to do a certain amount during the day. Otherwise, you try to take it all on and forget it. You know, you give up. So that was important to know.
What do you think? I mean, many of our listeners and readers and viewers might be working full time, have families at home. But what would you say? I mean, to keep a certain level.
I try to tell everybody you can find an hour a day or 45 minutes a day, every day, to try to play and to never give it up. And music is a language. I mean, I always say this, but I think it's never ceased to be true. Is that music is the language of the heart. You know, it's a language for sure, and it's a language of the heart. And so it doesn't necessarily matter if you know a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, B.B. King doesn't know a whole bunch of scales and but he can play his heart out just with a few notes, you know, and he's kind of a great improviser in that way. And of course, then also some people choose to kind of stay fresh by learning new stuff all the time, new words, new vocabulary, adding it to their playing. So, but once you start playing and you kind of want to play and love it, you have to kind of, to me, it's like a flower or something. You have to water it, you know. And that's important to do. And the more you do it, the flower blossoms more. You know what I mean? So the passion for music keeps going. So I think it's important to have some kind of time every day to play. And also, you never know. I've seen people like they're taking a different kind of job to make money, and they've got a family, and they kind of keep practicing. And then all of a sudden, something happens where they're working a lot more just with music, so they can get to just that. So there's a up and down with all that stuff, you know. But it's so beautiful to have in your life, I think. I mean, I can't recommend it more, and that's all I can do. But to me, having music in your life is a joy.
Well, thanks a lot, Mike. On that note, Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.